This was the very first door I knocked on when I first ran for office. I took on a 20-year incumbent.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Foyer. I really appreciate that. We were underdogs, for sure. As the son of a public school teacher and a Boeing employee, I didn't have any political connections, big endorsements, or personal money. So I knocked on 22,000 doors instead.
Nice to see you.
After 20 years, yeah.
20 years.
We surprised everyone and won. But since we promised to change county politics, establishment insiders eliminated my district, and we were forced to run again against another longtime incumbent. We knocked on even more doors and won again. I dedicated every waking hour on the county council, and now as Attorney General, to taking on powerful interests on behalf of Washingtonians. In my view, the future of the Constitution is at stake.
Joining me now is Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson.
Washington's Attorney General says he has a plan to make millions more eligible to receive charity care.
I take on anybody who isn't playing by the rules as your Attorney General.
Is there really any precedent for using campaign statements to establish impermissible motive?
My job as Attorney General is to uphold the rule of law in this country, and I'll use every tool that I have as Attorney General to make sure that the President follows that Constitution. So we have veterans who aren't getting their medications in a timely way, senior citizens who aren't getting their prescriptions. It's a serious problem here in Washington State. And because we're right, we've won a lot.
This looks to me like you won here, like you beat them and you've made them concede that they lost. Is that how you see it?
Without any question. The fact is, big multinational corporations have too much power. Government, at times, has too much power, and they stand in the way of every Washingtonian having the opportunity to succeed. I'm proud to have defeated polluters, scam artists, cheaters, and held them accountable. So our great state can thrive, so small businesses can prosper, so people get the health care they need, so farmers can compete, to hold big corporations accountable, so future generations can breathe our air and drink our water. I think that what people want in their Attorney General is someone who will fight for them, that they feel like that person is using the tools of their office to fight on their behalf.
What I like is that he is not playing politics. Mr. Ferguson is putting workers ahead of politics and is willing to do the right thing.
When Donald Trump attacked women and students and working people time and time again, Bob Ferguson stood up for what is right, and I want to personally thank him for that.
To me, Bob Ferguson is someone who is a true leader. He does not need to show himself or to be the spokesperson, but he is able to use his wits, his talents, his team, and values to push forward to what's important.
I pretty much went up to him and asked him to take a picture with me. And I told him, thank you so much for doing this, for protecting and responding to this unconstitutional and immoral act against people like me.
Bob Ferguson showed up for me in a way that was really meaningful and helpful to me. In the aftermath of this horrific shooting in Mukilteo, where my son was nearly taken, and I witnessed the grief of 3 families who've lost their young children, here is Washington State's highest law enforcement officer. He's already got legislation drafted to change things.
I proposed addressing ghost guns. That's been adopted. I proposed for 6 years banning high-capacity magazines. The legislature last year adopted that change. Now it's time to ban the sale of assault weapons. I'm proposing that as well.
What he's been doing for our most harmed communities from the opioid epidemic is huge. What I really love about him is I believe he's the only attorney general that turned down the offers.
So let's talk about the result and the end game of swinging for the fences.
Yeah, it's $500 million that's coming to Washington, all the local jurisdictions.
I think about how fortunate Washington State is to have an attorney general like you. You have taken on some of our most high-profile cases, things that are against the toughest, most cruel opponents, and you've done it on our behalf, for the people, a champion for everyone in Washington State.
When your first campaign is against a 20-year incumbent, and it's a grassroots operation, and you've only got your friends and family to support you, I don't think you ever lose sight of what that campaign was about. And I think it was very freeing to come into politics not owing anybody anything other than, frankly, doing right by all those people I talked to. What I like most about being Attorney General is it gives me the opportunity to fight on behalf of Washingtonians every single day. And that's what I want to continue doing, is being an advocate for all Washingtonians in any way that I can.